Hey, real quick, it'd be great if you could consider subscribing to the YouTube channel down below. It really helps us out.
Final preview here.
Yeah.
7:30 NBC. Texas A&M 2-0, Notre Dame 0-1. The Irish are a 6.5 point home favorite, Dan.
Yeah.
I have a lot to say.
I'm sure.
On this game. It is one team clearly that I know and love. It is another that I just found myself loving more than I expected in the preseason.
Yeah.
So I'm very torn on this matchup. If I'm being objective about it, I'm very torn.
Ties and Brulia. Continue.
On what goes down here. Why don't you lead us off? Where are you at Texas A&M on the road at Notre Dame?
Okay, I like Notre Dame a lot here.
Why?
And I didn't going into my prep for this, but the more I dug in, the more I think I like Notre Dame here. The reason I don't like Notre Dame, and I'm not a Harry Potter person, Ty. Have you seen the Harry Potter films or read the books?
I didn't read the books, but I've seen all the movies.
I assume on some level, somebody is like the keeper of the spells or the potions, right? That you're like, oh, I need to do this. So let me look up a good spell that'll get this done. That'll make a horse appear or will make lightning rain down from the sky.
I think that's what they did, yeah.
Yes.
They made the horse appear, sure.
Yes. I assume Mike Elko, in his brain, has a cast of spells at the ready for very specific situations and probably loves the idea of getting to game plan against an extremely green quarterback.
Mm.
Like, that is something that probably excites any quality defensive coordinator that, like, ooh, I get to do stuff. I get to play around with stunts and coverages and whatever to make this quarterback who has played basically no games see ghosts.
Expelliarmus!
Right. Whatever it is. Again, I assume at some point I will. I have small children. They're going to want to read and watch Harry Potter, and that's great. But that's what gives me pause about this. That CJ Carr, not a finished product. The Notre Dame passing attack has not been incredible these past couple years.
Really?
Downfield.
I'm writing this down. Continue.
Right. So Mike Elko, incredible defensive mind, who now has talent on that side of the ball, has more depth there, has options to make CJ Carr uncomfortable. That's what I like about Texas A&M, aside from the other quality things. But like just in a more abstract way, that's what I enjoy. What I like about Notre Dame is game against Miami on the road was winnable. They're now coming home. They're coming off a bye week. They have different ways to win. I don't think Texas A&M's offense is anywhere near explosive enough through the air to scare Notre Dame into playing conservatively on defense. Notre Dame very famously likes to and has continued to play man defense. Texas A&M is bringing a bunch of 5'9", 5'11", 6-foot receivers to this Notre Dame secondary, which should have guys in this secondary, new guys, old guys, whatever, licking their chops. Because I don't think they're going to be pushed around by these receivers. I don't think these receivers, as quality as they are, again, that's my word of the season, Mario Craver, Casey Concepcion, Terry Bussey, take your pick. They're not out jumping. They're not winning a ton of 50-50 balls. So that means Texas A&M is going to need to get work done on the ground. That means Texas A&M is going to have to get work done in the red zone, on special teams, and do it all on the road against what should be a really good Notre Dame defense and a pretty patient Notre Dame offense. If they're going to lean on the run, lean on tight end, and I think they're going to get more out of receiver this year with Malachi Fields and Jaden Greathouse. CJ Carr will continue to get better. I just think it's a good spot for Notre Dame coming off a bye to win this game, not with ease, not with comfort, but I think confidence. So I have Notre Dame here. I'll put it down 27-17. I think they win this game by 10 points, and I think it's just a good matchup. Marcel Reed will play, little dinged up. Offensive line has been okay for Texas A&M thus far, but I think Texas A&M is more of a grower than a shower in early September.
That's interesting. I mean, all the points you bring up are, I think, incredibly valid. The biggest matchup for me is what you mentioned at the very end, though, and it's that Texas A&M offensive line against Notre Dame's defensive front.
Yeah.
Notre Dame did get bullied a bit by Miami.
Sure.
In that, not the whole game, not even for 150 yards on the ground, but on some of those longer drives earlier in the game, I think Miami really set the tone by getting good push up front. Now, to Notre Dame's credit, they did get better as the game went on. By the time that game concluded, Miami wasn't doing much on offense at all. But Texas A&M is going to build the whole plane out of that mentality. And I think that's worrying. The outcome of this game, in my view, is directly related to how well A&M can run the football. Because their winning formula is not going to be 30 passing attempts with Marcel Reed.
Right. And that's not his strength.
The winning box score for A&M looks something like 192 yards on the ground, 17 passing attempts, probably, 38 minutes of possession.
Right.
That's what it looks like. I think we can probably agree on that, right?
Yep.
The other thing that I think about often now, since I've had 2 weeks to ruminate over this loss, is something that you have been saying for a couple years now.
I'm ready.
Mike Denbrock. The Mike Denbrock experience has left a little bit to be desired, has it not?
Not for LSU, but for Notre Dame. Yeah, a little bit. I mean, they went to the national championship last year. You can't be too critical.
Well, no, but I haven't seen a great explanation for what they tried to do against Miami. We probably never will. And this feels like it's year 2 of, oh man, wait till he cranks this thing up. It's going to be...
I think that was protecting CJ Carr in Miami to a certain extent. Get him one start under his belt and a bye week, and perhaps we see a little bit more.
Never opened it up last year. It never happened. In spots, yes. But overall philosophy of this offense was very pickleball last year.
Sure.
And maybe Mike Denbrock is a good coordinator. Maybe he's just a coordinator who lucked into Jaden Daniels.
Okay.
Those guys tend to make everybody look good. You win a Heisman Trophy. But
Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas. Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Yeah, that helps,
Yeah.
So this is not like, I like the hire. I still like the hire. And I still think clearly there's nowhere to go but up. CJ Carr, this is an offense with a lot of potential. But the game plan left me a little bit worried. That matchup makes me a little bit worried. I do think the version of Notre Dame that we saw in the second half against Miami is going to be more what we get the rest of the way. I think CJ Carr, all things considered, looked really good in his first start. They've now had multiple weeks to lick their wounds to prep for this one. There needs to be more emphasis on the running game, separate from what you had to say about Jeremiyah Love, which is accurate. They need to emphasize that a little bit more.
Sure.
I don't know what they were trying in week 1, but let's get back to basics. Let's run the football with the 2 backs that we know are pretty good, if nothing more.
Yeah.
And then let's see if off of that we can find a way to stretch the field now that you have a quarterback who you're probably more confident in being the guy. I think he can handle it.
Okay. There is part of me that believes that you need to bring something downfield to beat a team and a defense like Notre Dame's.
Yeah, and likewise. I think that works both ways. I think Notre Dame wins at home. It's at night, but I'm all over the points.
Yeah, I'm giving them. Give me all of them.
I've got it 27-24. Notre Dame wins. A&M covers. I think it's tight.